Hey man, how's it going? All right. Yeah, sorry for the wait. Um, had a bunch of prior appointments before this one. I actually had my own coaching session with Luke. So
Oh, wow.
as much as I've been helping out other people, I was still also getting roasted myself. So you know, goes to show no
Yeah.
matter how good you are, there's always people better, and there's always stuff you can work on. So
Yep.
yep, I
It's
will
always
actually
a
be
big fish.
uploading. I'll actually be uploading my own replay analysis that Luke did on me later today. So everyone will get to watch me
Nice.
get roasted for once.
I'm actually looking forward to that now.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we're gonna be doing the 2v2 replay analysis here.
Yep.
I totally forgot. Did you book? I think we booked an hour for this one, or was this one 30
Nah,
minutes?
it's 30 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, I see that. And yeah, we didn't have any other details. So you just wanted, did you just have anything, like anything I kind of throw at you want? Or is there
Yeah.
anything you
Yep.
want to focus on?
Basically,
Okay, got
I'm
it.
just looking for tips and pointers.
All right, cool. So I guess I will share my screen here. And I'm going to only stream it at 720p just because I'm going to be recording this as well. So I think you'll get the point across, though. Um, okay, so I think it was this replay here.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so first off, I actually have the Bacchus mod plugin that anonymizes stuff, so we won't get to see like the actual score. And one person is called Yuri for whatever
It's
reason.
me. I
So,
guess I'm you.
oh, it is you. Okay, gotcha. That was gonna be my next question. Is like, okay, so I actually don't know who's who. All right, that's fine. So just before I ask, what I see you. Um, so what rank are you actually? You're currently in twos.
Diamond 3. This
Diamond
was
three.
my game to get in the champ.
Gotcha. Nice. Okay, so are you still working on your champ awards?
Yep.
All
Yep.
right. Good luck on it. I guess maybe we can point some stuff out and get you your rewards here. Ooh, good kickoff. Let me see that one more time. Ooh, okay. So one of the things to note is this you actually have a really good first flip. I'd say the only thing I would adjust here is that you should be. Let me see if I can get my. Oh, let me put this into borderless mode. Okay, why is I was trying to get my marker to go through here. One second. I'm not sure why that's happening. Let me close down my pen software here. I can try it again. I was gonna say I think instead of the flip that you did here, it should be a side flip instead. I think when you push the ball towards your opponent on the kickoff here, you're not really gonna be doing much. Ideally, there we go. Okay, yeah. So ideally, you'd be hitting the like sort of left side of the ball, and you would flip to the right. So that way, as you come along with the kickoff, you will also be traveling along with the ball. That way, you can kind of keep, the same side of the field. So whereas if you push the ball forwards, you have a potential to lose the kickoff or win the kickoff more, which is fine. But you don't want to give them ball possession if you can't help it. So just something to note there. I think just a small adjustment there might make that kickoff a little better for you. Bad challenge. Ooh, okay. So actually, pretty decent aerial. One thing to note though is that I like your rotation here, but I think you pushed up too far underneath the ball here. So if we go to the fly view again, you can see that as you rotate into net, there's the goal line here. As you rotate into net, you're parallel with the goal, which I really like. But I would wish that you would kind of stop right here or, even right here sometimes, depending on where the ball is coming from. I think the fact that you are so far underneath the ball now only limits your field of view to just like that, up in the air. So you don't know where the other guy is. And you don't know when he's gonna go or when you should go right away. If you have to say you had to tag this up right away, or if you can go for a clear, or if you can catch it, you don't know really a whole lot. So the fact that you even push up this far, it limits your vision here. So I think if you just stopped like right on the front post or near post, then I think that would be a lot better for you. And also just from that same thing, if you stopped right here, you would be able to see that convertismo or convert. I'll just call him convert. Misto.
Right.
You would actually be, if you stayed here, you would still be able to rotate or push out forward now and just have a better, better takeoff. You'd be able to get just a straight shot rather than having to jump back here, go back behind you, and then also air roll to get the shot to the left or center, right?
Yeah.
And if you think about it, all you're really doing here is just clearing the ball. You're not even really, you're putting a shot on without actually putting a shot on net. So he definitely should have caught that, and that should not have been a shot on net whatsoever. But I think had you just stayed in the net on that first play there, it would have even been a better clear. Okay, so, and one thing to note in twos is that I'm going to talk about option coverage for a second. So the guy with the ball, so even say your teammate is coming up with the ball here, right? So say the ball's over here and your teammate's here and you start pushing up mid, or say you even push up across field. The farther you are away from this play, the only options that you actually cover are if he gets a pass out center to you, that's number one. And the other option is that if, for whatever reason, if it gets cleared across the field like that. So that way you'll cover those two options. Everything else, if you're coming in from, actually, you know what? Let me do my eraser on that line. It's actually especially worse if you're coming midfield or across, because then even if the ball comes here, actually, you know what? Let me erase that line. Say he loses the challenge and the ball actually goes down this way, or it comes in midfield, you actually have a harder time coming in this way. So just based on option coverage, if you're across the field or if you're far away midfield expecting a pass, the only two options you cover are these two, which is the least likely to happen right now. Whereas if you positioned a little bit closer to the play, if you were positioned maybe here and you stayed here because you were in a good spot, but you just actually went kind of center with it, expecting a pass, you can always cut in and push up more. But if you push up with your teammate here, kind of behind him, you can actually cover not only the pass center, you can actually cover if he loses the 50 or if it goes, straight back mid. So you kind of cover three different options here, whereas you cover the two only when it's a good outcome. So you have to cover, like if he loses this, now you actually have to rotate out back this way and, back on defense. So you kind of have to cover the worst outcome first, or the outcome that has, or I guess the position that has the most option coverage. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
As far as like you being too far away from the play, you kind of have to catch up then. And that's exactly what happens. So now that he loses it, you're basically waiting, for a good time to challenge. And this is never a good spot to be in, especially if convert is actually smart and they play this like a 2v1, then yeah, this should basically be a goal every time on you. So yeah. All right. There you go. I like the fact that you slow down. You're going to wait to see what happens. Not bad. Because at this point, you don't know if he's going to go up the wall or if it's going to bounce out or what. So I like the fact that you wait. And you know what? I got to say, this fact that you went for this too is not necessarily bad. It's good that you actually had no hesitation. That's what made it really good. Just because, yeah, the second it bounced, you realize, okay, now he's on the wall. I can probably go for this, which is good. And then it's just a matter of just putting a shot on target, which, comes with shooting practice, shooting training. Okay, there you go. See how you didn't rotate out completely. I would have expected from before, I would have expected you to rotate out this way and kind of come back in net. That would have been too much. The fact that you're staying near the play on the same side now means that you can have pressure much earlier. So that's already better from before.
Nice.
There you go. Ooh, yeah, you saw your teammate going. I guess it's good that you didn't commit. You know, a double commit here would be pretty bad if you guys both fly into it, right?
Yeah.
So
And he just
and
like
then
turned away.
they all backed off as well. But I gotta say, at this point, if you're faking, it might just be better just for the sake of rotations and for the sake of your teammate to actually just rotate out completely and do like a big loop back to net like that. That way he can kind of take a tighter turn like that. That might be a better option. That way you just get out of his way, because now the fact that you stay here and you kind of get a touch somewhere in here, you guys are kind of overlapping each other for way too long. You know what I mean? And once you guys overlap, it's just better to correct that now and just get the hell out of the way than it is to get that this next touch here. I think is unnecessary. And so yeah, now this touch, if you look from his perspective, now he did exactly what he should have done the tight circle and gone on the ball. But now the fact that you touched it, look, you guys are stacked on top of each other way too close. So now all Convert has to do is just get it around you guys, and you guys are both dusted. So I'm just gonna be a little nitpicky, perhaps. Is once you grab this boost, you don't need to waste any boost here. Like, you're so far away from the play right now that either your teammate's gonna get it or that guy's gonna get it for a save. So like the 30 boost usage here is totally unnecessary, unless you actually steal their boost, which you did not do. So you wasted 30 boost without actually committing to stealing their boost. So it was kind of, now you're down to 17 pretty quick. So it's like, okay, are you going to use the boost and go for the ball? Or, you know, you should basically just be stealing their boost is probably your number one priority here. Because now that he has the boost, you're basically pushing on this ball and not really doing much with it. I like your patience here. I think you could probably take that mid boost as well, unless you, you left it for your teammate, which is fine, I guess. Here, if you know like where this bounce is going, this is the kind of a couple different options you have in this scenario. If you know that this ball is bouncing here, and you know that the ball is going to hit the wall like roughly right here, if you know you can time it, you can actually come up underneath it and get it on the underside of the ball and just get a big booming clear. If you want, that's one option to get it off the bounce dribble here, off the bounce off the corner. That is one option. However, you have to realize that you know, if you go for a clear, if it's not on target, it's probably just going to be giving away ball possession. So if you're really good at shooting, that is like an option, but probably not the best percentage-wise. The other option is to actually come up and just try to meet it before it hits the wall, so that way you can kind of kill it and catch it. That's probably the best option here, if you know that you can beat Convert to the ball at least. Once you realize, okay, he's close to the ball, I'm just going to kind of wait and see what happens, then I think when you went up the wall here is really good. But I think the turn that you did here is probably the wrong one. Yeah, so you turned back, I think instead. Let me watch this. Let's see how this kind of came about again. I think it's a bit tough because I think it's a similar situation now before where like you didn't give yourself enough space to like come at the play. See how you push up again more towards the corner? You're actually limiting. It's very subtle. It's like the difference from like here to here. But now, because the ball is so close to you, you just kind of have to wait and see because you're kind of awkward at this point, right? I think the fact that you pushed up here just this little bit is actually what makes it awkward. Whereas if you think about it, if you came from, like, say you actually rotated to the near post and then turned around and then started pushing out, think about it from that. That's when, let me see here. Auto cam. You could actually just make a challenge. You know, you could challenge this 50 here and try to dunk him over the corner. You know, you can come at it straight on. I think the fact that you've actually pushed up to the ball is actually what makes it awkward. So. All right. Again, I'm sure you can tell at this point. This is maybe just turn off ball cam or turn car cam on and just maybe use your camera to flick it. Because at this point, you know, as long as you do it fast enough, you can basically just touch this ball, like at least break a little bit and just go for a dribble play here. The fact that you boosted into it, you know, you're just giving away ball possession for no reason. And if you intend to pass here, then
That's what I was calling for.
yeah. I think a better option then at this point would be to, let me go to like a little bit more of an overhead view. A better option would be to keep this ball on the ground and actually come up on the right side of it. I'm just going to kind of use the ball as the example. You would want to hit it like right here. You want to jump like before you get to it. So that way by the time you hit the ball, you're actually just hitting it upfield on the ground for your teammate, right? So the fact that you stayed on the ground, it chips it up, which makes it harder for him to shoot. Whereas if you roll it to him on the ground, then he can make the decision of what he wants to do. You know, he can catch it and then he can keep possession and dribble it in. He can go for a flick, or if he wants, he can hit it pretty hard. Like if it's rolling towards him, he can kind of just bump it with his car and then go for another shot on net or an air dribble or whatever, you know, follow it. And then it makes the decision easier for him. Whereas when you hit it and you chip it up, you make the decision for him. His only option then is to either follow it or try to get a redirect or something, you know. So it's not really helping out your teammate in the best way. So I like the idea though, you know, that you're like at least aware of him and he's doing whatever he's doing off the ceiling. Okay. Yeah, once they jump here, I would say, yeah, just turn around. You're good here. I'd say maybe try to flip. I think your boost usage, because now you've used a lot, I think you could have flipped there and maybe be a little bit more efficient. There you go. I like the slow play. There you go. I prefer that, because now your teammate can go still. I know it seems like scary sometimes to just try to slow play and you're like, oh, well, if I just boomed it, I might have had a shot or whatever. I have that same problem a lot of the time myself. I feel really confident in shooting, but, you know, if you draw him out, you know, if you don't have the perfect shot from here and it doesn't go in, then he's basically got an easy save and you basically gave away ball possession for no reason. So it's like either you score it or it's not the right move. So the fact that you actually slowed the play down, you forced him to go into your corner is pretty good. I like the rotation. At this point, you don't know if this convert guy is actually going to be able to put a shot on target. But I think that you're definitely pushing out way too far here. You can see how far away you are from the goal, you know? So like even here, like literally like the 100% of the net is actually behind you. So they can basically put, if he just booms this anywhere over you, like in the air, then this is a goal. So I actually like your rotation. You actually rotated here, but then that's when you pushed out a little too far. I think if you just let the play develop a little bit and just make sure for 100% certainty that he's going to, you know, hit it to the corner, you know, he can hit it to the corner here. He can boom it to the backboard, or if he can try to put a shot on net, you know, if you do a rotation and just kind of chill here, that's probably the best way, just to kind of see where the play goes, because at this point you really have no idea.
Right.
All right. I like the fact that you waited and they missed. Nicely done. Again, yeah, you're pushing out to the play. I like the fact that you waited to hit this. Actually, yeah, that is pretty well played. You have decent kickoffs too, actually. That flip is unnecessary here. Not sure why you flipped left. Just flip straight. get the boost.
I did flip left. I didn't even notice that.
Wow. Okay, so it may have been a good opportunity for like this second. You basically have to be, I mean, to even score this, if you think about it, you basically have to meet the ball here and then hit this side of the ball, you know, to be able to shoot it in. So the percentage that you actually get that angle is probably pretty slim in the first place. The other factor is that big fat toe here is still in the corner, and you don't know how much boost he has, and he probably is going to ball chase because, right, it's like diamond champ ranks. He's probably going to want to go for the ball. This is one of those scenarios, again, like you have to respect your teammate. If you see him rotating out, then yes, go for this. But the fact that he stays, you have to respect that. Oops, sorry about that. You have to respect that. So because he stays and because there's still a guy here, you have to wait and see where the play is going to go. Also to mention, the biggest factor out of all this is the fact that you guys are up 1-0 already. You do not need to score. Your number one rule, no matter what, and I mean no matter what now, should always be to not get scored on. You do not need to score whatsoever. So, especially if he goes back, then yeah, that's fine. But basically, for multiple reasons, this is not a good ball to go for. I think your flips, I think this is a similar problem that Luke said that I have actually, is that your flips are a little unnecessary here. You see that, I see your reasoning, right? You're like, okay, well, I got to get back. I got to get behind my teammate in case some shit happens. But the flip here is actually too unnecessary because now you're supersonic driving back away from the play. Whereas if you just took their boost and just kind of drove back, you could still turn back like right here and be ready for a play. Or if anything, come around and rotate back this way. Be behind your teammate, you know, in case he loses it, or, you know, say he pushes up. Most likely is that he basically gets a weak shot on net or something like that, and then they immediately bring it back around this way, right? How many times does that happen in a game? So I think if you actually rotate out this way, it's again the same idea that you're being closer to the play from the get-go, that you can actually cover multiple options, and you can still always go back mid if you need to for like a shot or something. Or if worst case scenario, you can always just push back across field if that happens too. I think it's just the timing has come up a couple times now where you're rotating back so quick. Now you're going supersonic. Now by the time you turn around, your distance from the play is just way too much. You know, this distance is just way too big. So I think the timing there. Oh, keep getting clicky fingers. Again, I think just progressing the play too much, right? Like at this point, the ball is nowhere even near the goal. Like it's on the backboard. There's no need to challenge this whatsoever. If anything, he's in a more awkward spot. So just let the ball kind of drop and maybe go for a bump or something like that. You know, just drive challenge. But the fact that you jump at this is just like there's a 0.001 chance that you actually get this in the net for some reason. So, and again, you guys are up by 1. I'm just going to reiterate, you don't need to score. Again, the distance thing here, right? I know I've said it a couple times, but it's just because it's the main thing I keep seeing. You actually have pretty decent decision making, I think, as far as like, okay, when you're in the moment, when you go to make a touch on the ball, or like, you know, like when to go is fine. But I think if you try to stay a little bit more relevant in your positioning will actually help you make better decisions. I think that's definitely the biggest thing. I mean, you can freaking see you're in your own little world over here. So, you know, if you just kept, let me see even how that rotation happened. Yeah, you're in a perfect spot here. Just wait. Just literally break and just sit here. Maybe pick up this pad. Maybe pick up this pad if it keeps going forward. But, yeah, it's that thing that I think you keep positioning and expecting a pass to come. You cannot play two. This sounds so freaking weird, and Curtis told me this when I first joined the server and I had my first coaching session, that you should play twos more like a ones game, right? you're positioning as if you're expecting a pass to come like this, which the chance of that happening is like 1 out of like 5 or 6 different things happening, right? So, yeah, again, if you just position like right here, it'd be much better.
Okay.
And I'll kind of reiterate, the one or two times that the ball actually does come in midfield like this, again, you're going, see how you like charge into the net? You're going too fast into this play. You see how you're using like way too much boost right here. And now you're like expecting it to go. Well, now again, this is like the 3rd time that you are so close underneath the ball, like literally, that it's up above you this whole time. So it's again awkward, and by the time you actually wasted so much boost just to get to this position, just to be out of position. Whereas if you just you know, this angle, like if you just think about it, like you literally have to be like Kronovi, you know, to hit this ball like at the top right to be able to get a banger, right? Whereas if you let me just back this up. You know, if you think about it, just if you came back from farther back, like now this angle doesn't look too bad. By the time you meet it, you know, say you jump from this boost pad or a little bit after that, then it's like, okay, well, by the time you get to it, it's just a little bit of a difference. Whereas from here, it's like, okay, got to come and hit it back down. Like, so yeah, I think if you just gave yourself more of a run up, you're trying to be so close to the play, but it's actually making you out of position. And it's just every time I'll point it out again, every time that you've done that, it's been super awkward for you, right? When you had to make a save when you were in the corner before, and even when you're on offense now. There you go. I like that positioning in case something happens, in case he misses it or whatever. Your positioning is good here. Yeah, I like how you're going left. See? There you go. You're being relevant this whole time. Convert. Still being pressured. There you go. That was good. And you got a good follow. There you go. See how every time you've been on the same side of the field now, you never went on this side of the field like in the last 10 seconds at all, right? You stayed on this side of the field. You stayed relevant with the ball. You've actually gotten multiple challenges now. And even though you get bumped and all this other bullshit has happened, like, you're still staying relevant. You've still rotated on the same side of the ball, right? Your teammate is like, okay, whatever. He does whatever he's going to do. Ooh, okay, I like that. The second circle is actually really good. You're like, okay, well, now that I don't know if this 50 is going to go in my net or what's going to happen. It could go center for hamburger. So I like the fact that yeah, if you want to keep speed and stuff, I think that would be something that instead of going towards the play and trying to be so close to the ball, do something like this, right? Do zigzags, do Z's, do circles, whatever you need to do. Another good option is to actually jump and wave dash. You know, that's something that you can do like before a 50-50 comes about. But I heard Curtis say that he doesn't recommend it because if you mess up your wave dash, obviously you're basically out of the play for a good second while your car recovers. But if you're really, you know, it's very mechanical, right? So right now, it's where you would jump. You'd still be facing the play. You'd kind of slow down, jump, and then wave dash. Because now, at this point, you could wave dash on the ground. Now you can flip and boost after it again without having to waste 50 boost here, 40 boost, whatever it is, just to stay relevant on the same side of the field. There you go. Okay, so again, I think you're really too close to it. Grabbing this boost is not a bad idea, but you actually still have time. This guy is way far away from the ball. You actually still have time to be able to drive back and just do like a little J turn like this. Again, this is the second time this has come up in the same corner where by staying so close to the ball, you're actually making it awkward for yourself. Whereas if you just got back, rotated, gave yourself the run-up time, you'll be able to make a better decision. You'll be able to see more, you know, overall just way better. Because, yeah, now if you came up, you could basically, you know, think about it from like as if you came from the net. You could basically drive along this way, come up, and basically hit it wherever. You know, you could literally hit this on the wall, clear it over him. Ideally, you'd get a touch that you can follow right along the other wall, or even worst case scenario, or, you know, one of the other scenarios is you just clear it downfield, right? But that would be much easier to just drive out the wall and hit the ball than now whatever you're trying to do with your turn and trying to make sure he doesn't get it past you, and score, right? So, all right. So yeah, let me think here. Okay, so you're good here. Very little. The distance, I saw you rotated out this way and you kind of did one of these.
Yeah.
If you just keep turning and go along parallel with the goal, that'd be much better. It'd be way easier, because then once this bounces off the goal and this lands like in front of your net, you can actually push this out to the corner, right? So it's just one of those things, because you push out here again, expecting something to happen, right? That you push out with the ball, you're like, okay, you stay close to the play again, but not in a good position. So, yeah. And again, this is one of those things where if you were along with the goal along the backside, you could basically just clear this out to your corner, like I just said. So that could have definitely been prevented. Ooh, I like the empty jump there.
Thanks.
Yeah, you have a really good kickoff. Yeah, obviously you didn't see your teammate until like the last second. I don't blame you for jumping for this, to be honest. I might have done the same thing. In a better world, only one of you would go, but obviously you guys are not in comms, so you're like, hey, you're shaking your head no, like, why'd you go for that fucker? That was my ball. No, it's all good. That shit happens, It's whatever. Oh, literally, I hope you can point it out.
Yeah,
far away from the play.
just too far. Yeah.
Literally the same exact thing. Literally the same exact play. Exactly. And again, even the scenario, the 1% where you still had the opportunity to go for it, your teammate was able to clean up for you. Obviously, that should have been a goal. It's whatever. Yeah. But it was literally like, if you think about the percentage that dude gets it out center for you, like, he had a terrible touch with his wheels there.
Yeah.
So, like, the 1% chance that happened, it actually happened, and you still couldn't convert it. So, like, just from, like, statistics, man, yeah, I hope you can realize, like, oof, you guys are getting pretty lucky here.
Yeah, we really are.
Ooh, okay, so, again, it's maybe more subtle here, but you see how far up you're driving? You don't know where your teammate's going to hit it. Obviously, he's trying to pass. He realizes he might not have a whole lot from here. But again, it's very subtle, but you're actually underneath the ball yet again, where you're like, okay, I actually don't have a good hit here. So it's the same thing where you have to give yourself, you have to backtrack, you have to waist boost, give yourself your own run up. Whereas if you just waited just a little bit longer backfield. Let's see. So yeah, I would have preferred you have to come across field more. See how far up you're pushing towards the play here, towards the net. That's a lot of times now that's happened. You've pushed literally in this like area here in midfield, where literally 0 times now has that worked out for you guys, except for the one time where you missed a shot, and he was able to clean up. So yeah, if you just came across, maybe pick up this boost pad and then turn, again, staying on the left side of the field rather than in midfield, then that would have been an easy clear. And you actually could have maybe even, you could have adjusted then and just basically get a nice straight banger. But again, it's kind of awkward. Like, even I wouldn't really be able to do a whole lot with that, with that kind of position. It's like a... Ooh, okay. Good positioning. Yeah, actually, you know what? For what it's worth, I do like what you do here. I'm gonna actually talk just to kind of take away from this play for a second. I'm gonna talk more in generalities. So in general, when you have the goal line here, and say the ball is coming from the side of the field, and you're dropping back, say you're shadowing, at some point. So say your car is here. I'll do like 4 little circles for a car. You kind of have 2 options. Your ideal scenario is that either you turn at any point and make a quick challenge, whenever you feel, or you go along with the goal line and you go parallel with it and make a save, right, at any point. The idea being that there is a line between the goal and the ball, right? And you only cross that line to challenge or to make a save. So I like what you did here is the fact that you went parallel. A lot of people, what I see, I'm going to kind of go more in the center, just kind of hypotheticals for a second. So say the ball is more middle of the field, and say you have more room down the length of the field. But, say your car is here. And what I see a lot of times what people do, especially in lower ranks for ones, is that as they're shadowing and stuff like that, they'll do zigzags and they'll cross this line. Well, now if you think about it, if your car is here, to make a save, literally over half the net is now behind you. So you actually have to turn back around and cross the line again to make a save. Right. So whereas your other option is to literally just do a swooping turn and make a save like that. And you never cross that line, and you know that the entire net is either in front of you or to your right. So I like your positioning here. You came across and you're parallel with it, and you waited on the near post, which is good. Sometimes that doesn't always apply, right? So in this case, like say the ball was in the middle of the field, and sometimes, say you're shadowing or whatever. Sometimes that is not the best opportunity, or actually, you know what? I think it's more applicable if the ball is here and your car is coming here. Sometimes you have to rotate near post and just kind of sit here, because sometimes there can be a shot on net. So it's not always like a law, but in general, positioning back here is usually better. So, yeah, I think that's all I got to say about that. Okay, so yeah, actually, I know you're trying to time your the play by the time you push up, but again, I think this might be one of the scenarios. This is very tough to call because obviously he's trying to pass, right? I think if you actually, instead of pushing out right here and trying to meet the ball high, if you actually stayed here and you push along with the goal line, you can actually kind of make it more of like a straight line. It was very subtle, but the fact that you actually pushed up from here to here is the difference between now you have to basically get a shot, a clear up before he can. Whereas if you just stayed here, you can actually just make a straight, you'll have a better line of sight here. You can actually, if you go, obviously the timing is important. That's the most important thing. But this angle here would be way easier, just like how I talked on offense. This is way easier to come at than from underneath the ball. Because now the fact that you pushed up, half the net here is actually behind you again. So all he's got to do is beat you to it and get anywhere in this area. So, and I know that unfortunately I can kind of cheat on the timeline here. I know that they happen to score.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see how now it's awkward for you because it's always above your head. Ooh, yeah, that was insane. Woo, that was clean. Yeah, he just had really good positioning. See how he stayed with the play on that side?
Yep.
He went for it. Yeah, he's staying on the same side of the field. He's staying relevant. That was really good. And you can see how that paid off for him too, right? He never, it's not like he went here and he rotated out this way and grabbed the mid boost, or even these pads here would be too much. He kind of stayed on the same side of the field as the ball, right? So yeah. That was really good by that guy. Ooh, yeah. Your front flip here is actually what gives him the ball. See how you actually hit the side of the ball, which this hit isn't necessarily wrong. It's maybe perhaps a little bit too much on the side of it. I'd prefer if you hit it like on this line here. But then you should be flipping like left with this. Or if anything, you should be landing on this side or the middle of the ball and flipping the other way. But you're literally just giving up the kickoff, and whether you know this or actively or not, you're basically swiping the ball and you're flipping forwards. Your car is going this way. You're hitting the side of the ball. It's like, okay, well, what else do you expect to come from this?
Right.
So, yeah, you're just asking to get dunked on this one. Now, obviously, that's actually a really good kickoff to lose if you coordinate it. If you have good comms with a twos partner or something, that would be a perfect way to lose the kickoff. Oh, 5-head bump there. Nice. Dang. He gave away the ball, but he's just like, all right, fuck the ball. Oh, man. Yo, I want to watch that from his perspective. That just looks hilarious. Ooh, and he got the boost. Nice. Yeah, he shouldn't be flipping here, but, you know, that's more mechanical. He's just like, all right, I don't even have anything. Fuck you. That was hilarious. Dang. Okay, yeah, that was good. Yeah, I think it's just a similar situation, right? You're good on the left side, but you're up. You don't need to score. I keep saying it over and over, but I think that's, yeah. I do like that you don't dive into it. That'd be terrible. But yeah, since you pushed up, you're putting yourself in an awkward spot. Yep. And that entire sequence all stemmed from you just pushing up way too far and trying to go for that goal. Just because you didn't need to. This whole thing right here. Now you get demoed. You get bumped. Oof. Not really a whole lot of control you have, but you know what you could control? Not going for that ball earlier.
Right.
There you go. Yeah, there's that positioning again. Whereas if you just stayed right, see how if you would have stayed on the right side right here, you'd be much closer to this next ball. But because you went mid, you're so far away from it now. Whereas you could have just been on the ball already. You could have been just taking this right here, you know, on the bounce or whatever you wanted to do.
I feel like I pressed a touch right there.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Like the mechanical stuff, it's not. Don't worry so much about that, right? About like what you did with the ball there. I mean, obviously it's a mistake. It happens, right? But I want you to at least recognize that, like, hey, you know, you went from here, then went back, then went over. Like the entire time that you had to go from this length of the field, that, I mean, basically says everything, right? So whereas, yeah, if you just stayed here and you just braked, just literally wait here, then as the ball comes here, you know, all you got to do is just drive like this. So, yeah. But that's literally like, man, you are in love with the center of the field right now. Like, you're not married to it, bro. You don't have to be with it 24/7. Actually, you know what? If anything, I don't mind the first hit. Like, this is not bad. Maybe you jumped a little too early. But at this point, the ball is on your right side. Actually, you have 60 boost. This is not necessarily a bad play yet. The way you can recover this is just by flipping to the right. But because you front flip, you're getting out of the way. You know, you probably think like, okay, maybe I can get a touch and just get it over him or whatever, which is fine. But yeah, so you break, you jump too early. You're not even really like in line, like with the ball. Like you still have to turn left. You know what I mean? Like you're hitting it this way by the time you get to it, right? You should be coming like underneath it like this. So your angle was actually totally off because, yeah, you're not even aiming at the ball right now, which is what makes it awkward. But, yeah, I mean, the fact that, you know, the first hit is whatever, but you can save this yet. What I would do here is just immediately flip to the right and just kind of keep pinching it along the sidewall, right? And you have 60 boost, so by the time this goes down to the ground or whatever, you know, by the time it rolls down, you can still go for a 50-50, right? You have enough boost to do that, so... the fact that you're kind of in your head, you're like, okay, I'm going to get a touch. I'm going to be able to flip it over him. I'm going to get a sick goal. But, like, you have to, like, take it one hit at a time. You know what I mean? Like, you got to execute on the thing in front of you, not what you have in, not the play you have in your head.
Right.
So, yeah, this is still savable. You know what? I actually don't really mind that you go for this because now your teammate can see you the whole time, right? So if he knows that you're there and you're just chilling, he knows, okay, yeah, obviously you guys are stacked. He almost bumps you here. a bunch of shit almost happens, but like it doesn't, and he can see you the whole time, and you guys are also keeping ball possession. So like, it's not the worst thing in the world. I'll say that, especially when you guys are tied with, about 0 seconds. It's it's not always a bad thing. And yeah, your teammate has a good pass actually, for what it's worth. Yeah. That was totally scoreable too. You actually see how when you're on the left side, you're actually in a good position right now.
Yeah, really well.
But I think your habit of going mid, I don't know if you just misread it or whatever. It's whatever. But yeah, you also have to recognize at like some sense he's still going to be able to get to this. But yeah, you should basically just be, obviously hindsight is 20/20, that you should be able to just come in from the left side where you were and jump up to it and just put it in. So that's more of a mechanical thing, and obviously you got demoed, but I think the fact that you kind of waited, there's like, I can definitely say there's hesitation there, like once you got a misread and you got demoed, whereas if you just jumped in the first place, it would have been way better. Because yeah, you're in a good spot. Just keep driving.
Pretty nervous.
Yeah, I mean, especially with 0 seconds, right? I totally get it.
Yeah. And this was my game to get into champs. So yeah,
I totally forgot about that too. Yeah, so I get it. But 0 seconds, dude, you guys are both basically about to dunk on them. If anything, this should be the moment where you don't have hesitation. Because if you can't, you cannot let this hit the ground, right? Because this convert is going to get it. Something's going to happen. It's not going to go in. You basically have to jump up and try to just meet it. If you miss, it's whatever, or you don't hit it in, it's whatever. But staying on the ground here is just way too long. It's just too much. Decent kickoff, not the worst. Not the worst either. Obviously, like, nobody's over here, right? So, one option is to ideally you'd catch this ball on the wall, or with this exact play you'd go for like a bounce shot here and be able to score it. I think that was probably what you had in mind.
Yeah.
So it's whatever, but I guess I'd say they're nowhere near you, and Fat Toe is still like going with the play. So like I'd say if you just drop back here, pick up this boost pad and turn around and push up on the side of the field, right? Then I'd say that'd probably be best, because yeah, he just boomed the hell out of this. So yeah, that'd probably be the safest play. And yeah, look at this whole time now, you're just still dropping back. Go. Okay. Yeah, just more of the same thing, right? I'm kind of beating a dead horse, I feel like, at this point. Like, the ball is above you. Like, you don't know where anybody is. You're limited field of view, right? So you kind of you're forcing yourself into a bad situation. I think not a bad thing to do here would actually be, this is I guess more mechanical, you could say, but to kind of get around this guy, and then as you hit it, you also flip to the right when you hit the ball. Right, so you kind of like cradle the ball with like the underside of your wheels. So you don't like hit it with the front of your car. You kind of hit it with the underside with the wheels. So that way you both go this way. That'd probably be the best situation if you do go for this. So that way you can both go to the wall. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Honestly, the fact that you actually hit this without jumping is pretty decent. But now at this point, if you just break here and just chill, you would know like this ball is way in the air. Nobody's gonna, like, Wolfman was not even going for this, or whatever. Hamburger, I don't know why I said Wolfman. Hamburger is not even going for this at this point. You just saw him back in his own net. So yeah, like even if you think about it, like even if you do hit this ball, like what's gonna happen? Right?
Yeah, pretty much nothing. I had no shot.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I think just eliminating those situations where you're going for something, like, that's not the first time this has happened. This is maybe a couple times now that you've basically just gone straight to the wall for something. But yeah, I mean, basically, even if you hit this out, what best case scenario, you get a center pass and he scores. But like, even if they hit it, this guy is basically waiting to see what happens, right? Even if you do hit this out, Hamburger also has an opportunity to intercept your teammate. So it's not always just like a free hit. So yeah, there are a lot of reasons why that should not be going on that. Okay, this is the moment of truth. You're in net, you're parallel with it. You kind of not hesitate. You pause on the backside, which is good. There you go, power slide cut. I like it. Okay, not bad.
Good shot.
Yeah, bad execution. All right, but you know what? You are way more deadly like this. Honestly, I know you want to shoot. But another option is to just let it go for one more bounce and then shoot it. Just to get that little bit more closer to the net. Okay. One thing to note is you are basically almost already supersonic. You have 94 boost. No need to just pump the boost here. You're boosting away from the play for no reason. Now you got 70. And I bet my hunch is telling me that's probably going to come into effect because you guys are about to get scored on in about 20 seconds.
Yep.
Okay, you know what? Not a bad shot. Okay, and yeah, going for this. Again, you're forcing the play, but now you have 0 boost, and he gets beat, and this is where you get scored on. Yep. Okay, so for the last play, you know what? I don't mind you going for this, but actually, yeah, I do mind you going for this. It's a little too early. Again, you're forcing the play too much, and if you look like, where was your teammate? He was behind you. Like, it's still, I don't know. I think you're forcing it too much. Like, this has now been multiple times where you're hitting it to the sidewall or to the corners and stuff like that. I mean, how many times have you gotten a pass out center to a teammate and he just cleanly scores every time? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't happen, right? So, not to say it doesn't happen, but it doesn't happen often. And it definitely does not happen often enough for you to keep doing this. I think if anything, maybe a decent option here would be, let me see. What do you think? Literally just break here, and you can wait for the ball to come to you. Yeah, because now that you're forcing, you're hitting the ball, you're actually giving it up. Whereas if you just let it come to you, you don't have to waste boost going at the ball. You don't have to waste boost like progressing a play when you don't have to. You know, you can go for like a ground to air dribble. You can just bop it up again and then follow it. You know, if you can't air dribble consistently, but like, you know, you can do more with your boost if you just let the ball come to you just for that extra second. The bump is unfortunate. You missed the first boost pad. Yeah, this is also savable too.
Yeah, I opened team chat.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah, you missed that first boost pad, just very minor, right? Right here to your right. Got that one, which is good. But yeah, I want to point out when you jump for this, you're very flat-footed, right? So by the time this gets to you, you're still, even though you jump, I want to kind of point out something here. Let me see. Okay. At your highest point, Siri's going off. Okay, at your highest point, your jump is only covering this much height, right? But if you think about it, a better option would be to jump and tilt your car back. So that way you can combine not only the jump height, but also the length of your car. Because now, even though you jump, you're only covering this much ground. Whereas if you jump and tilt your car up, you know, you think now you're at the point, you know, I'm just kind of adding even half your car length, right, to this height. Yeah. Now you're at the ball. So maybe jump and try to tilt back. That way, you know, if you air roll to the right here, you definitely have a save. Yeah, if you jump up, actually, hell, even if you don't air roll, if you don't do anything at all, if you just jump, tilt back, you save this. If you hit the underside of the ball right here, you actually can bop this up. You're actually in a really good spot underneath the ball. If you just tilt back your car, you'll bop it up, maybe even off the crossbar and out, but hey, a save's a save, right?
Right.
So, yeah. But being flat-footed there is the thing that kills you. I'm going to keep this thought for just a second. I'm actually going to go here, and I'm going to go into free play. Training. And I'm going to kind of accentuate this point. So, yeah, like, anytime... kind of lagging. Okay, there we go. All right, so yeah, anytime you go for like an air play, you should be getting used to the movement of jumping and tilting your car back. And actually, one thing I realized during one of my previous sessions that it really helps somebody is that the same thing applies for going for air drags off the wall. Jump and tilt back, right? Because the same thing applies from the ground is you want to get up to the ball where, you know, if you want to get out to the ball from the wall, you jump and tilt your car back. So, you know, that's just how you can cover more ground that way. So after you hit it, you jump, tilt out, and then that's how you start in air dribble.
It's clean.
Yeah. Then the rest of it is just like aerial control, you know, like air rolling and knowing when to boost and stuff like that. But the first part of the setup is actually just going up the wall, hitting it, then jump and tilt out. See, now I don't even have to really do a whole lot. I just got to boost at the ball. And
you just like air roll.
Yep. So I jump and tilt out. I don't even have to air roll, really. I just jump, tilt out, and just boost towards the ball again. But the same thing, I mean, hell, even that's a pretty decent pass. But yeah, I mean, even if, here, let me see. All right. But yeah, I think you get the idea that, like, jump up and tilt your car back. Actually, that was a pretty good power shot.
Really what? Top bends.
Yeah.
I got a question. So like, is this gonna be on like your YouTube or is it like private, unlisted?
Yep, it will be unlisted. Actually, I do have if you check my Discord profile, I have a YouTube link. It will actually take you to my GCR playlist on YouTube, and that's where I have put all my coaching sessions in there. So yes,
Nice.
it will be uploaded there tonight.
Nice.
All right. So as far as the replay goes, did you have any questions or anything about that? And did anything I say like not make sense, or you know anything at all regarding the replay?
Nope. You pretty much like everything you said. I didn't even think about, and that's probably why you're GC and I'm stuck in Diamond.
Yeah. You know what? I will say, like, obviously, a lot of the things that Luke said to me, like I said, I look forward to that, me uploading that video. Everyone's just totally going to roast me in the channel, in the Discord. But yeah, there's a lot of things that, like, you never think about with your replays, right? So that's why it's important at any rank to get somebody to look at your replays, because everyone has a different, like, mindset about the game, right? And different things that you can do differently, right? So,
Yep.
because yeah, just like you, I get in my own head about like, hey, I'm going to air dribble this, or hey, I'm going to get a wall shot and I'm going to banger over this guy. But like, you know, sometimes you're in your head too much and you're always thinking about the one play that you want rather than like what play you should be doing.
And I like the fact that you pointed out like the percentage of you scoring. Like I never really thought about like what's the chances of me getting this goal. I always just go and just like hope for the best. So like the
Yeah.
fact that you brought that to light, like I should think of my chances of like actually getting
Yep.
a shot on target.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
pretty good.
That was one thing that one of the first time I ever got coached is he brought it up of like he got it in my head of like the percentages, you know, not just like the percentage chance to score, but like what's the chance that like, you know, even in positioning too of like what's the chance that the ball's going to come to me, you know what I mean? Like when
Right.
you were so far away from the play, like what's the chance that I'm going to be able to get to a ball now? It's like
Right.
if you're not near the play, it's like, oh man, now it's really low that you're going to be able to do anything. So, yeah. I will say, just kind of patting my own self on the back here, I have a pretty good stats.
Yeah.
2.9 goals per average. I'm actually kind of pissed because I dropped down from 3. I used to have exactly 3 goals per game. But yeah.
You play a lot of ones?
No, I do not. That's one thing that
Oh.
I play 2s and 3s. 3s is my main.
So are you looking forward to like the 14 days and nothing but one?
No, I told Luke today, man, because he was like, "Yo, Avatar, you have like solid twos positioning, right, and solid twos decision making, but in terms of like actually handling the ball, he said that even in terms of like handling the ball and like stuff, I actually may be better than him in some things, right? But like
Right.
he said that I should play ones and get used to like put my skills more to use, right? So that's what he said for me in terms of like my like ones and stuff, like what will do for me. So I'm not gonna say anything more. I'm gonna have you watch that. It'll be
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
Watch me get
Hey, I'm
roasted.
really looking forward to it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm literally gonna be uploading it after this in a minute. So yes.
Nice.
Um. So yeah. So yeah, I guess just in kind of summary before I let you go here. Yeah, hopefully a lot of the points that I made sense. I'd say the main things about you were that yeah, either you'd basically be your spacing was probably the number one thing, right? Of like being either too far away from the play or being too close to the play that you were literally underneath the ball, right?
Yeah.
So that'd probably be number one more than anything else. Of like,
Yeah.
I'd say try not to be underneath the ball if you can help it, and then try to stay closer to the play. Don't go across that
Kind of
half
like
court
the
line.
middle ground.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't go across that half court line if you can help it. If the play is on one side. Um, so yeah. I'd say that's probably if you just focus on those two things. Honestly, I think you'll be in a pretty good spot. Like I said, your kickoffs are actually pretty solid. Your kickoffs are probably some of the best that I've seen so far out of anybody that I've coached. I'd
Ooh,
say,
thank you.
yeah,
Finally a compliment.
yeah, yeah. So yes, your kickoffs are pretty good. I think if I'm gonna roast you a little bit more. Like I said, nothing really too bad. I think if you just focus on that last flip into the ball, you'll be like
Yep.
100%. Like, dude, you'll be on your way, like being insane at kickoffs. So,
Thanks.
so yeah, you're like 99% of the way there. Just use that, just flip sideways instead of forwards. You'll be good. Um,
Thanks.
so yeah, on my YouTube channel, I have a kickoff tutorial, so you can kind of see like if you have. I mean, do you have a partner in the program?
No, I kind of play with like two different people right now, but like we just been playing like on and off.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you do get into like twos and stuff, or you start playing with other people, you start getting coordinated kickoffs. I go over
Yep.
how to actually lose kickoffs as well. So that might be something you might want to watch. I think I'm going to be making a speed flip tutorial and a kickoff, like a speed flip kickoff tutorial as well soon. So that I'll probably upload soon. But I go over like kickoffs for ones and kickoffs for teams as well. But I've got stuff like half flip tutorials. I've got like air drag tutorials, 45-degree flick tutorials, all that kind of stuff.
I need that one.
Yeah, I've got games with pros, games against like Twitch streamers, all that kind of stuff too. So, yeah, like I said, it's
Already
all,
uploaded?
yeah, all on my channel. It's already on there.
Well, I never seen that. Like I sub, like I seen you play like ping pong and stuff. I never seen the RL
Yeah, yep,
content.
yep. So yeah, it's all on my YouTube channel. If you go to the link in my Discord profile, it's all there. It'll link you to the playlist, but you can find my channel from there. So. All right, man. If you don't have anything else, I'm going to head out for a bit. I'm going to upload these videos. I'll probably see you
All
around in the
right.
server.
Yep. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, not a problem. Anytime. And yeah, anytime if you have any questions or anything, feel free to book another session or just message me on Discord. I'll get back to you.
Okay, nice.
All right, man. See you later. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.